Are we ultimately going to get this Consumer Financial Protection Agency?
I hope so, but Tavis, I don't know. Right now, this consumer agency is our one hope to try to straighten out a consumer credit market that's broken. It's about trying to get us back to two-page credit card agreements that you can actually read, see what the terms are, see how much it's going to cost you, see what kind of risk you're taking on so you can exercise some personal responsibility. And so you can compare one card to another. Same thing on mortgages, same thing on check overdrafts, same thing on payday loans. That's the goal of this agency, somebody in Washington who works on behalf of the consumers. Whether or not it'll go through or not, I mean, this is right now a ball that's up in the air and has not come down. You know, I hate to sound old-fashioned. People tell you about writing your senators. This one is hung in the Senate right this minute. This is the time. Call your senators, write your senators, email your senators, get your neighbors to do that and say, you got to give us a strong consumer agency because the banks are spending $1.4 million a day lobbying to block this agency.
That figure, Professor Warren, does not surprise me. I guess the question, I'm not asking this out of naivete, obviously, but the question is, given all that the American people have said about how disappointed they are about this crisis, given that it's our money bailing people out, why would something like this not be a priority in the United States Senate?
I have to tell you, when I first came forward with this agency, I thought it was easy. I thought this would happen in a matter of weeks. But you have to remember the power of these Wall Street banks. Senator Durbin from Illinois said about a year and a half ago, the banks really own this town. Now, I hope he's wrong. And I'm willing, this shows you, you know, the optimism of an outsider. I'm not a Washington person. But this is a case where we've got families on one side, we've got the banks on the other side. They've got all the money, we've got all the hurting, but we also have the votes. And we've got to use those votes, and we've got to tell our senators, I don't just want you to vote the right way, I want you to get out there and speak in favor of this. I want you to put some wind in its sails. I want you to make this happen. This market is broken. These people are ripping our families off. They are hollowing out our middle class. We cannot have that.
Finally, before I let you go, I can pretty much guess how you're going to respond to these two questions, but let me ask anyway. Your name, as if you did not already know, is being circulated around Washington, never mind the fact that you are not a Washington insider. There are those who are suggesting that if we do get this Consumer Financial Protection Agency off the ground, that you would be the appropriate person to head that agency, number one. And then I look in today's LA Times and other places, and I see your picture as being on the list of persons who might replace retiring Justice Stevens. So your thoughts on either one or both of those positions that you have not yet been offered?
So you just hit the key part, Tavis. Nobody's offered me another job.
Yeah.
But let me say two things. The first one on the agency, I am really putting every ounce of my energy behind building a structurally strong agency, no matter who's heading it. For now, I really don't want to make this about me. I really want to make this about building the right agency that will last not for 5 years, but for 50 years, for 500 years. That's what I want. On the Supreme Court, is there anybody who ever went to law school who didn't think about, wow, wouldn't that be something? It is a profound honor just to be on a list, and I will always remember that. I'm deeply honored.
If asked to serve, though, I take it that you would in either of these positions?
Tavis, no one's asked.
You know what? You ought to be an ambassador. That was so smooth. If you don't get offered either of these other two spots, but I'm delighted that you are exactly where you are at this moment doing the hard work that you're doing. Thank you for your courage, for your conviction and commitment, and I'm honored to have you on this program.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you, Tavis. You're a real friend.
Up next, best-selling author Anne Lamott. Stay with us.